officially making my first prep diaries video. Well, technically the first one. What's up, guys? I'm Casey. Thank you for watching. Wanted to start making a prep diaries because I figure that if I'm going to make this journey, I would love someone to take it with me. And then hopefully not only can I get tips and advice from other people, but hopefully people can get tips and advice from me as well. So I did an earlier video about how a couple months ago, I'd say it's even more than that, maybe about 6 months ago, I put in my head that I'm thinking of possibly doing a bikini fitness show. Apologies for my voice, guys. I got laryngitis really bad this week and I'm finally almost got it back, but that's why I sound so raspy, but I think it kind of sounds sexy. Very Sophia Bush, if anyone knows. Anyways, so I put in my last video, or my first video, about when I was thinking of doing this, like what made me decide to do this. And I guess the biggest one being that we are closing the door on having a baby of our own. It's a really tough struggle for me because all I've ever wanted all my life is to have babies of my own, have kids of my own. And I have 2 stepdaughters and they're great. They are 12 and 13 right now. Very scary. Very scared. Okay, anyways. And they're great with me. They really do treat me like a parent. They listen to me, and then they still do look at me as also a friend too. So sometimes they do come to me for personal stuff that they're not going to go to with their mom and their dad. So it does make me feel really good, but they're not my babies. They're not my kids. And if anyone watched my struggles with Canada video, y'all know that I do not get respected as a parent from most people in my life. Maybe it takes being a step parent to understand how hard it is to being a step parent, but on most days I feel like their mom doesn't appreciate me. I don't know what's happened in the last year, because when I first came into Erin's life, she was almost grateful that I was here, and then somewhere in the last year, it's like she just I don't know, we lost communication and anything like that. So she typically doesn't answer me at all anymore. Like I'll message her something important, like when does Rhett go back to volleyball, and I won't get a response, and it's sad and heartbreaking. But anyways, so they're not my babies, and most of the time I don't feel like I am a parent, but mostly because I'm not getting the support and the respect. But I am doing all the work that a parent does, so it's really frustrating. So for me to finally decide that having babies of our own just wasn't going to happen has been very heartbreaking. It literally ripped my heart out in the last year or two. Erin got a vasectomy, I know, TMI, whenever him and his wife were still married, and we talked about getting a reversal, and he was okay with it. And then we looked into how much it cost, and they're expensive. They're about $8,000 to $10,000, and no guarantees. So budget-wise, we weren't able to do it. We even reached out during COVID and asked how much people would take if we were willing to pay out-of-pocket cash. And yeah, it's just, so number one reason was cost, 100%. Like if we had been able to afford this surgery, we would have had it by now. So that's definitely been pretty heartbreaking, because in reality, we probably could have paid for the surgery by now, but you know, life happens and you make other choices. And I think it's a higher priority to me than it is to Erin to have one more. So that's also been the issue. But as the girls are getting older, and I don't agree with how kids are getting raised these days. Like, I hate cell phones for children pretty much under 14, I'd say. It ruined our girls. They are ungrateful. They are rude sometimes. They are glued to their phone. It's sad. And it's like, what are you doing? I'm a small business owner and I have to constantly book people and move appointments and, marketing and advertising, all this stuff. And I'm not on my phone the way that you are. And even now with doing all this training to do a fitness show, I'm still not on my phone as much as they are. So it's just so annoying. So bringing another child into this life right now would be tough. And then as work is increasing too, that's also going to be tough to take time off. I'm also worried about my age. I'm turning 42 this December. So, I went into geriatric pregnancy zone at age 35, which sucks. And if I were to really, really do it the way that I want to do it, I would want to do an at-home birth. Obviously, that's really not advised when you're in a geriatric zone. So all of these issues came up, and as the girls are getting older and I'm realizing they're becoming harder and harder to parent for and more expensive. Like, seriously, kids are so expensive these days, and it's just like they don't have appreciation, gratitude. Like, it's tough co-parenting with someone else who has more money because their mother married another man who does have more money. I'm not saying that's why she married him, but so expenses are a lot easier for them, and trips to walk into Nordstrom and get $150 pair of Nikes just because Rhett wants them seems like it's pretty normal for them. So, and it's one of those things where it's like when Rhett wants a new pair of shoes, I'm going on Poshmark and seeing if I can find them and negotiate for them. And I've managed to get her some stuff, but yeah, it's just really tough. So I'm just thinking that it's just looking like it's less of a good idea to have another child, especially since ours are about to be driving and hopefully out of the house. And it's like with split custody, you really come to appreciate the time when you do have them. And then you appreciate even more the time when they go back home, because then you're back to yourself, focusing on yourself, like making your own meals, not having to worry about anyone else, not having to clean up after anyone else but yourself. So yeah, just everything's aligning that it's just not right to have a baby of our own right now. This door is not 100% closed because I just had a friend who had twins at my age, and I'm almost positive they did it natural, not IVF or anything like that. And I say that on judgment of a financial terms because IVF is seriously expensive. So, and then amongst that, I had a friend at 50 that had twins. Now, she did do IVF, so it's not officially done, but it's closed for now. So because I lost my baby, so to speak, I decided to put focus and attention into something else that I could call my baby. And I've decided to make that be fitness. Getting back into the best shape of my life, feeling good about myself, looking good, everything. And I know that they say to not do a fitness show for an extreme diet or to get back in shape. That's not the only reason. This has been a bucket list of mine for probably at least 10 years because I was training for a show when my sister was getting married, and I didn't have a very good coach at the time, and instead of helping me and training me properly, she basically convinced me to drop out of the show. And then I found out later that she took my registration, spot, everything, all the fees that I had paid for, the photo shoot, down payment, everything. She took it all. So did she really think I wasn't ready for a show, or was she just hoping to find somebody to drop out so that she could take all of their stuff? I don't know. So this has been on my mind for a very long time. So it just seems like now is the perfect time to really pursue this. So I found a coach that I know a couple friends of mine have used. He's in Tempe, Arizona, and I know him personally because I used to work at a nightclub with him about 15 years ago, and he was one of the bouncers, and he was probably one of the best kind-hearted bouncers there. Very protective, very, good at his job. And then I know that he's been doing the personal training for a very long time, and he's trained tons of girls for fitness shows, and most of them are people that I know. So I was able to actually go to the sources and find out from friends, tell me the truth. Would you ever train with him again? Oh, he was amazing. He did this, blah, blah, blah. So I reached out to him, and due to finances, I am going to do virtual training with him. And when I first met with him, my goal was, I met with him about a month and a half ago, and I told him that my goal was to do a show come March. Well, COVID changed a lot of stuff. There used to be a lot of shows in March. COVID moved everything back, and he said, and when I met with him last week, I met with him last week to check in with him, see where my goals are, and then get my measurements and body fat and stuff like that. And when I checked in with him last week, he said that shows now are hitting mostly April, May. Kind of bummed about this. I was really looking forward to March. I thought March was going to be a perfect timeline because one of my good girlfriends, she's getting married in California at the end of March. So I was like, oh my gosh, I hope the show is right before. Then I'll be able to enjoy the wedding, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? This is actually perfect because not only does it give me more time, but if I bust my ass and if I'm looking at a show in May, I can probably have a little bit of enjoyment at her wedding. So I'm not going to party hard. It's not going to be alcohol because I am going to be in the prep zone then. Because my biggest obstacle is, or not obstacle, but I guess goal is when I'm 16 weeks officially prepping, absolutely no more cheating, 100% following my meal plan, 100% following my workouts, everything. So I think the timeline is actually looking like it's better. I'll be able to enjoy the holidays too, like Thanksgiving, Christmas. I'll be able to enjoy them because I'm not going to be on 100% prep yet. So right now, what I am doing is what I was advised from everybody on YouTube and trainers, everything, is I am basically getting myself back into the bodybuilding lifestyle and trying to adapt and prepare myself for when things get to the part where I can no longer make any cheats or changes and I have to follow everything work by work. And I just gotta say, I'm loving it, you guys. I am so excited. Like, my trainer virtually, he set me up on this training app called Trainerize. I'm sure some of you guys have seen it. I actually worked with another trainer once before doing this app, and it's really great because they customize workouts for you, and then I just have to follow it. I open the app, and it tells me what I'm doing that day, what I need to do, reps, sets, if it's a drop set, everything. So he's got me doing that. This is my split right now. And I'm just telling you guys what I'm doing. Obviously, it's different for everybody else. So whenever I talk about macros, foods, split, cardio, everything like that, do not take my plan, but I'm just telling you what I've been advised on. So my split right now is I'm working out 6 days a week, 6 days a week at the gym, weightlifting. Day 1, chest and back. Day 2 is legs. Day 3 is shoulders. Day 4 is ham and glutes. Day 5 is arms and core, and then day 6 is hams and glutes again. If you guys check the math on that, that's 3 days of leg day, when I used to barely do leg day once a week. So, but it makes sense because they're the biggest muscles in the body, and it's definitely one of the zones that I'm worried about the most on my body. And then he's got me right now doing 20 minutes of cardio every day. Day 7 is supposed to be, I think, my rest day. But what I think I'm going to have day 7 be is Wednesdays. I work at my yoga studio, so I always take the 90-minute 26 and 2 hot yoga class. So I'm going to have that be my rest day / mental day / self-healing day, self-productive day, everything. Wednesdays are going to be my new day. It's definitely going to be easier when I don't have the girls, but yeah, I'm going to work on it. And then also, some mistakes were made with the girls' nutrition this summer. So we've decided that it's time to enforce nutrition back into their lives and exercise, especially for our oldest. So it's possible that on Wednesdays, because I typically have Wednesday afternoon off since I work in the studio all morning, that especially when our youngest goes back to volleyball, might be my goal on Wednesday afternoons to take our oldest with me to the gym so she can get in gym sessions, because on our weeks, we can typically only get them in on Saturday, Sunday. They don't have a gym membership at their mom's. Our youngest plays volleyball, so she's got that handled, but the oldest doesn't have anything. She doesn't have anyone to help work out with her, and she's just unmotivated to do it herself. So this is another good reason why doing this show is so great right now, because I am setting an example to our girls. And because of my extreme meal plan that I'm on too, I've made changes in the house. I got rid of all the junk food, trying to make their lunches more nutritious. There's more vegetables, more fruit, a good hearty sandwich. The meals that we have on our weekdays are going to be stuff that I can eat too. Got rid of crappy dressings and sauces in the house, so we don't have ranch dressing in this house anymore. If anyone knows my struggle with ranch dressing and our freaking kids, it's awful. They could eat a bucket of it. So this is the perfect example, because or perfect timing, because I am going to be setting a good example to them. So my coach has me on 5 meals a day. These are what the macros are that he's given me. He wants me to be having 2,000 calories a day. That's a lot. It is a lot. 130 grams of protein, 70 grams of fat, and 216 grams of carbs. Now, my biggest struggle is, and you guys saw this in my video that I talked about when I was saying that I've decided to do a show. Before we went to Canada, I tried semaglutide, which I believe is a form of Ozempic. And I wanted to lose, my goal was to lose 10 pounds before going to Canada. And I was in a struggle where I could not lose. And so I decided to try it. I was referred to it by a friend who's tried it, and she saw great results. I loved and hated it right away. It gave me, guys, right away, it gave me the worst heartburn, on the verge of feeling like I needed to throw up. And then definitely decreased my appetite. So I was barely eating. So no wonder I lost weight. And then now this, I think, played a big role in it too. I also went back to bodybuilding before we left for Canada. So the month before Canada, I was at the gym 6 days a week, bodybuilding, upping my cardio, everything. I wasn't on a training program or anything like that. I was doing everything on my own. But my husband and I were keeping aligned on what our split was that day and staying on the same page. And most of the time we were finding time to work out together, which really helped. So I think the semaglutide plus the increased in weightlifting and everything like that, I dropped 10 pounds like that. Crazy fast. So went to Canada feeling a little better about myself. And then another video that's to be watched is my struggles during Canada, because this year trip to Canada was the worst one ever. And I don't know where my relationship is with my sister-in-law anymore, because she really did me wrong on this trip. So, and I'm still a little upset about it, because I got, like I said at the beginning of this video, no support, no struggle. I understand it's hard for my husband to pick a side, and he's trying to stay in between. But I look back at it, and he just really didn't have my back on anything. And I think he was trying to stay too much in the middle as to not start more problems. But what ended up happening was I ended up getting really hurt. So I've been a little sensitive since Canada. Our marriage is fine. We're going to be fantastic. But I don't know where we stand anymore with family, because it's not healed. I can't picture visiting his sister and brother-in-law anytime soon, or going on any trip with them, because everything just got swept under the rug. He said he was going to I'm so sorry, you guys. He said he was going to talk to her whenever we got back, and he never did. So I love him, but he avoids things. So, but the benefit to that was when things started going really, really bad in Canada, I got outside every day. I was going for runs, 2-3 miles a day. The farthest run I got up to was about 5-6 miles. And then I ended up walking another 4 miles that day. So I got about 10 miles in one day. So, and then they had one of those total gyms. So I was down in the basement trying to get a workout in. I was weightlifting. I probably weightlifted about 3-4 times on the trip. And then also watching what I was eating as much as possible, which wasn't easy. So since Canada, no longer on the semaglutide, because I understand that with this meal plan that my coach has got me on, it's a lot of food. I need to eat. Eating is key whenever you're bodybuilding. You need to be getting your macros. So I definitely am getting my appetite back, but I'm still not quite up to eating this amount of food. Like, I basically have 2 breakfasts and then 3 like savory meals, I guess you'd call it. It's really it's easy things so far because it's like cream of rice, which I loved when I was a kid, and I'm having that right now with frozen blueberries, which is just delicious. Eggs, Greek yogurt, avocado rice. It's very, very simple. My biggest problem is I've been really busy at work since we gotten back because of trying to catch up from taking so much time off. And then again, I'm just having a hard time eating this much meat. I'm back to weighing my food. I got a food scale, and you think you're eating 4 ounces of protein, and then you put it on a food scale, and it turns out it was only like 1 to 2 ounces. So it's so much food. And so when I check in with my coach, because I have a check-in with him next week, because we're going to do check-ins every 2 weeks. Once a month, I'm going to be seeing him in person. So that's also good because I assume he'll be doing my measurements and seeing things. But I don't need measurements right now. I can see I'm starting to get some definition in my shoulders. I have been a little like bloated this week, which I'm not sure what that's about. But like I said, I'm not 100% on the meal plan. And then when we got back, before we went to Canada, we were doing hardcore carnivore. We were just having ribeye every night. My coach doesn't have me on ribeye. He has me on lean sirloin. So, which I got the other day, still pretty good. I'm still cooking it a little bit in the curry butter with just salt and pepper, and it's still really delicious. But like I said, it's a lot of meat, 4 ounces. I didn't realize how little I was eating until I started measuring my food again. So when I check in with him, I might have possibly meal 3 at least, or maybe meal 3 and meal 4 put into smoothies or protein shakes so that I can be eating while I'm at work. I don't have time to take bites of food sometimes in between clients. Whereas with a smoothie, I could take a chug of that during a massage and stuff like that. And then another issue that I'm having with the meal plan and everything he's gotten me on is the water. Again, it's something you don't realize until you weigh your food, how much you're not doing something. And I always thought I was really good at drinking my water. I have a tumbler that I carry around with me. It's 40 ounces. I'm usually filling that up at least twice a day. So I would say I'm drinking 80 to 100 ounces of water a day. Probably not enough. He's got me on 3/4 to 1 gallon of water a day. I don't know how I'm ever going to get up to a gallon, but I'm trying. And yeah, I've gotten some tips from people like when I go to the gym, he wants me having BCAAs and creatine. So boom, there's 8 ounces of water right there. Because of my laryngitis, I've been having a lot of tea. That's water. I don't add anything to my tea. No sweetener, no honey, no nothing. So there's that. I'm still doing as soon as I wake up in the morning, I slam about 10 ounces of cold water a day. So I'm trying as best as I can. And then I did get one of those gallon jugs that's got the timeline on it. So when it starts getting to no cheats, stay on this, I will probably be drinking out of that mostly. So that I can follow the timeline. I live in Arizona right now. It's 116 to about 118 degrees right now. I need cold water, so I just don't want to drink out of that jug. But I'll make it work. Priorities are all going to change. Plus, I'm already finding, and this is what my husband said whenever I showed him my food, is that I'm going to be able to start eating more because I am lifting more and I'm doing more cardio and everything. And in between all of this heavy working out, I am increasing my work schedule as well. So I'm going to be able to start eating more. I know. So this is only week 1. I got to give myself a little bit of leniency. And I'm telling this to everyone else. Just start. Don't put any pressure on yourself on following the rules. But as best as you can, follow them, and then if you get off track, get back on track. I did have 3 glasses of wine this week, which was pretty good because I used to have 1 to 2 glasses every night. So, again, something that's going to drop out. I had wine this week because it was a stressful week. Girls back to school. I don't know what's going on with our 12-year-old, but she has turned into kind of rude. She's had such bad attitude. I don't know if it's girl problems. I don't think so because it's been a week now. But attitude, and she's been self-centered. Like I always thought our oldest one was the one that we had to ask to do everything. She hasn't helped out with anything around the house. All she does is just come home and get on her phone and plop on the couch. We're all in the kitchen cooking dinner, blah, blah, blah. And so it's been stressful. I had to take them back to school shopping. And I have like no money right now because we went to fucking Canada. Sorry. So yeah, that's great. I'm on a very tight budget for myself right now. And we have bills to pay because it's the beginning of the month. But let me take you guys shopping. Then I take them shopping and neither of them even wear what they got me to buy them at the mall. I'm still so irritated because this is day 2 of school and they are still not wearing what they made me buy them. And I'm just like, I'm so done. So yes, I had a couple glasses of wine this week. It's going to be an adjustment too because I like to have my wine in my bathtub at the end of the night. So I am giving myself a little bit of credit because I worked out really hard this week. The one thing that I did 100% follow was the workout plan. So I am going to give myself a little bit of slack, okay? And you should too. If you guys start doing this, if you take anything from this video, it's go easy on yourself and just start doing it. Just start doing it. And the biggest thing that I can recommend as I'm coming to the end of this video is to do what I'm doing. Live the lifestyle first, where I have no pressure of a show date. I haven't even seen shows announced yet for 2024. So I literally do not have a time zone right now. So I am giving myself a little bit of leniency right now. And I am trying to live the lifestyle as best as possible. We go to Jamaica in a month, so that's going to help things up on my motivation because I want to look and feel my best for Jamaica. But yeah, just start with the practicing, start getting back into the lifestyle. I am virtual coaching with my coach for $100 a month right now. If anyone is wanting to know around a market of what you should be aiming for, I think that's pretty reasonable considering the workouts that he gives me. We'll see how the check-in goes if I get a little bit more of the personal attention because I have been a little bit on my own, but that's what I expected. It's virtual training. I'm sure if I text him or messaged him, he would answer me, but I seem to be doing okay. So just start, find an online coach, get back into it, see if you can live this lifestyle, if you like this lifestyle. I'm loving it. I'm so excited. I'm seeing changes. I'm seeing changes in my body. I'm seeing change in my energy, seeing changes in the way that I sleep, everything. So this is so far turning out to be a really great thing. All my fears about doing the show, I'm going to start addressing soon. I'm probably going to buy a cheap pair of the plastic stage shoes soon so I can start practicing walking in them because that's probably my number one fear. I was watching a video the other day on YouTube of a live feed from, I think, the Clash, and one girl was being escorted by one of the stage hands, and the only thing that came in my head was, did she fall at some point on stage? Did she ask for help? Can she not walk in the heels at all? And oh my God, you guys, I swear to God, it's my biggest fear. I am hoping to go as small a heel as possible. I think you can go 4 inches. No platform. I'm trying to make them be as simple as possible because I just don't wear heels anymore. I can't believe I used to. So, yeah, I think I'm going. My coach said I don't even need to be getting the heels and practicing posing until like we're about 4 months out. But I think I'm going to start doing it pretty soon because it's probably the thing that I'm biggest afraid of is that. And then also my midsection because although it's gone down and it's trimmed a lot, I see these girls like, I don't even know how to do the vacuums anymore, but I've had so many gut issues this year that the vacuums actually hurt, which is probably a sign that I should be doing them more because maybe it'll help stuff move and strengthen and stuff like that. So I'm going to end this video here. Thank you so much if you guys watched it to this far. I guess I'm going to actually call this one Prep Diaries Episode 1, technically. And I don't think I'm going to do a video every week because I think that's going to get boring to a lot of videos. But my next video that I might do might be me prepping what I eat in a day so that you guys can see what I'm eating in a day. And then I'll just kind of like probably just going to be doing videos maybe every other week whenever I check in with my coach to see if I'm seeing improvements. I'm seeing improvements. I'm seeing improvements in my body. Like, look at this. I love this. This is sexy. And my energy is great. And then, still I'm stepping on the scale in the morning, and considering that muscle weighs more than fat, I know I'm losing body fat because the scale is right now not moving, which is great because it means that I'm losing body fat and probably gaining muscle. So I could be totally wrong. So again, I am open for all comments, suggestions, tips, encouragement. Just please don't be dicks. The world is full of them. We don't need more on this. But yeah, I'm going to leave you guys here. Thank you so much for watching this show. If anyone wants to know who I'm training with to see if you could get it, because like I said, $100 a month, pretty good. He's set out of Tempe, Arizona, and I'm sure that if anyone asked, you probably have heard of him. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and stay beautiful. Mwah.